So this is what I did for my office hours today, and in general, how I think we can go about making videos using Zoom or Screencast-O-Matic or whatever you're using. So what I do is I use OneNote, which comes on all of our PCs, and then I create a notebook for each of my classes. So for example, you see like here's Algebra 2. I will insert the PDF or a Word file of whatever it is that I'm trying to talk about, because I do just video my screen rather than myself. So I do that by hitting insert and then print out, and then I can select whatever PDF or file that I want to insert is, and then it goes in. I create a notebook for each class, and you can do that by just going to the notebooks and you can add a notebook, and then you can see here I've made a notebook for my class office hours, my Q&A sessions, and then you can add a page. So you can add a page for each thing you're looking for and then insert whatever you need. For these office hours, I just leave it blank and I cast this, I share this blank page. And then if they have questions for me, I've got a stylus, they can ask me questions and then I can just do whatever work I want here and they can see that. So you can see this is from the session that I did today, the questions that I had. So to set up the meeting, I use Zoom, which worked really well. So this is the Zoom main page. You can't really schedule a meeting from the main page, so just go to your account and then you can schedule a meeting. So let's say I want to schedule a meeting for Algebra 2 Q&A session. Let's say I want to do that for tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. AM. And let's say I want this to go for roughly 45 minutes. So 0 hours and 45 minutes. And I just generate the meeting ID automatically. I think if you use your personal meeting ID, then you can just use the same link every time. I'm generating it automatically because I don't want suddenly an Algebra 2 kid to accidentally join a geometry meeting if they just for some reason decided to sign on. So I'm generating the meetings automatically, so there's a different code every time. I don't need them to see me because I'm showing them the math work, but definitely feel free to turn your video on if you want to use your camera to shoot a video of whatever you're showing them or yourself, but I leave it off. And then I don't need to see the kids, so I leave it off for the kids too. I put this on both, but I actually only gave my kids directions for how to join in online. So I think if you just put computer audio, that's fine too, but you can definitely do both as a default. And then for these meeting options, the only one that I used was record the meeting automatically, just because I want to have the recording to post. You can definitely play around with these. I was thinking if I wanted to use the waiting room, I could do that if I wanted to give a drop-in time, but for one-on-one help. And that way I can maybe help one kid and then when they're done, help the next kid and they'll just kind of wait. But it worked out pretty well today just having them all together because some people just stuck around to listen rather than ask questions. So anyway, once you are done setting up your meeting, you just hit save. And then what I do is I invite my kids through Google Classroom. So you can, I think, just post the URL if you want to do that. But I just copied the invite just up to here because I think most of our kids probably won't be doing it through phone, but you can definitely copy the entire thing if you'd like. So I copied this and then I go to my Google Classroom and you can see for geometry, I've created this online Q&A session thing. So what I did here was I would create material. So let me go to my Algebra 2 since this is an Algebra 2 fake meeting I've created. So I create material and then I might say, okay, tomorrow's 3:19 Q&A session. And then I just pasted all of that information in here. And then I created a topic for my geometry classes, right? Q&A sessions. So that way it's all organized. And then I'll just post it now if you're interested, or you can just hit schedule and schedule it for a future date. For my geometry classes, I did post it the night before, so that way they could play around with Zoom. And I can show you what I did for geometry here. So I posted that, and then on the stream, which is how I've been communicating with my students, but you can also use Schooloop or Blackboard or whatever email you're using. I posted a message you can see right here from the 17th, which was last night. So I just let them know I'm going to be using Zoom. They might need to download the launcher. It's happening at 10 a.m. But I posted the meeting information early, so that way they can click on the link, and it's not going to go anywhere because I'm not hosting the meeting, but that way they can at least make sure they know how to join. And then as soon as I was ready this morning, I just put a quick note saying, okay, I'm ready, please join. So whenever you're ready, I started my meeting early. You can start it whenever you want, because once you have your meeting, you just go to this meeting tab and just hit, we have an upcoming meeting, start the meeting right here. So you can hit start the meeting. And then like I said, was doing a share screen. So I'm not going to use my video camera, and it's automatically recording for me. I also made a big goof this morning and accidentally muted myself for most of my video. So I've changed my settings so it's automatically going to use the computer audio. But I think if you don't do that, initially it'll prompt you to ask you if you want to turn on your computer audio. Please say yes. Don't be like me. And then once you're ready, right? So you see how it says join audio. You want to make sure this is, on. I just hit my share screen and then I'll share whatever it is that I want. So I'll share my Onenote, and now they can see whatever I'm doing. So what's cool about this is you can have your chat window open, which won't show up on the video. So you can start typing messages here. And a lot of my kids didn't want to talk, so they typed their questions for me in the chat. And then you can also click on the manage participants and you can see who's in the chat with you. And then you can see if they've muted themselves or not. And you can also mute them if they're being noisy. What's nice about this is if you hit more, you can hit play, enter, exit, chime. I like that because then I can know when somebody new came in or when somebody left. Mainly if someone new came in, that way I know if I need to kind of restart and be like, if you've just joined us, please type your questions in the chat box or chime in when you have a question or something like that. So that was kind of nice. And then what's nice about Zoom is if you want to share a different screen, you just come back up here to the menu, hit new share, and then it'll give me an option to share anything else. So let's say I want to show them something on Google Classroom. I can now share my Google Classroom window and then hit share and they can see that now. And if I want to say, let's go back to OneNote, I go back to new share and go back to the geometry Q&A. Once you are all done, you just kind of get to this menu again, and then you can end meeting for everybody. And then what it'll do is if you are automatically recording like me, it'll automatically just get your meeting done. And then it should automatically save it in your Zoom folder, which should hopefully be here in your documents. And then it'll basically create a folder for every meeting. So you can see this is the one I did this morning with my geometry classes. I renamed this so to just for my own sanity. I guess I don't think you have to, but the default Zoom video will actually just show as Zoom_0 for some reason. But that's the video. The playback audio only is stuff that I guess you may or may not want. I don't need it because it's just, the audio. But what's cool about the chat is I can show you here with the geometry. It tells you who asked what and at what time. And then what I did with this is I didn't just simply copy and paste it. So I just basically took out what the questions were and then posted them up on Google Classroom. But first, what I did was once I got the video done, I uploaded it onto my YouTube. So I can show you here my YouTube channel. So you can see this is my YouTube Q&A session I've uploaded. If you're not sure how to upload your video, every one of us should have a YouTube account, right? So what you can do is, let me see here. Okay, so if you click on your icon here, you should be able to go to your YouTube studio. So go to your YouTube studio, and then here, just click create, and then you can upload your video. Something to note, if you have a PC, if you need to put together a couple of videos, if you just go to your Photos app, so here, my Photos app, you can cancel. Go here to video projects. So here's your Photos app. Go to video projects, start a new project, and then new video. Hit add to select videos that you want to put together. So let's say I wanted to put today's session in with some other video that I have. I'll just grab one of these random ones. So let's say I want to put these two together. Once you've loaded what you want in your library, you just drag and drop down here, and that'll be the video. Oops. Let me trash that. I don't know what happened there. So let me start over. So what you can do is just basically drag and drop. I want this one to be first, and then I want this one to be second. And then you can trim, you can play around with this, but once you're ready, you just hit finish video and it'll export it for you. And then you can basically decide your options and then save it. And then I upload that to YouTube. So once I had my YouTube video done, let me just go back. I just grabbed the link and then I copied it. So I'm going to paste it and post it for any kids who might be interested in seeing it. So I go back here to where I put my online Q&A session. And then you can hit edit, and there's an ability here to add a YouTube link, and then you can see I've already added my video here. And this is what I took from the chat. I took the question, so I just posted it in here, so that way the kids can kind of see what people had asked. And that's how I did my Q&A session, my office hours today. But I think in general, that's also how you could just do a video to share with all of your classes. Just do a meeting with just you, because you don't have to have other people in your meeting. Save your Zoom video and then post it whenever you're ready. Okay, so I think that pretty much summarizes everything. If you're interested, what I'm using right now is Screencast-O-Matic. It's totally free. You don't even have to sign up. You just hit this launch free recorder. You have to download the launcher, I believe, but once it comes up, you'll see this dotted rectangle and this red record button. You just basically hit it and it'll record whatever's on your screen. You can enlarge or make smaller this box, and then whatever is just inside that box is what's recorded. You can do up to a 15-minute video nonstop, and you can play around with it, but you can also pause your recording. You can go back and re-record a section without having to make a new video. So it's also kind of cool if you want to play around with that. And you can also see here, if you want, you can do like a picture within a picture. You can have a little video of yourself while you're showing your screen. So that's kind of neat. So that kind of summarizes, I guess, what I've been using for my videos and then what I'm trying out for my office hours. Hopefully that's helpful, but let me know if you have any questions.